Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 and good morning, everybody. I hope you guys can hear me. Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day for all the fathers that are joining us that, may be looking over the crafters' shoulders, and those of you that are crafters as well. You guys, I am Carone Bailey. I am your independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm inviting you to come on into the craft room. You guys, what are we doing here today? Well, we are going to finish up on a couple of projects. Now, Tuesday was Technique Tuesday, and we started the Rippin and Tearin techniques. My goal then was to complete was about 5 cards, I think is what I wanted to do, in 2 ripping and tearing techniques. Well, we got through 3 of the 4 cards with 1 technique, and we didn't even get to the others, and we were 2 hours in. So I try to be respectful of you guys' time, and so I chose then to tell you guys I would come back at a later time and finish up those techniques with you. Just to refresh your memory, if you don't recall, these were the 3 cards that we created on Tuesday with the ripping technique, ripping and tearing. And we used that technique as a mask, and that is where we ended up masking off certain areas and ink blending the colors. Well, the 4th card, the one that we didn't get to finish, wasn't quite sure of the sentiment, but the layout is already complete, and this is what the finished product will look like, minus any embellishments that I have not added yet. So now I am going to go ahead and share with you the final technique that we're going to use today. Let's see, where did I put my parts and pieces? You guys, I keep telling you this every time I get ready for you guys, and I try to get ready ahead of time, I misplace things. So sometimes it's just kind of better for me to just go straight off the cuff. No planning, nothing, and just get it done. Okay, like seriously, where did that go? Alrighty. There it is. I hid it from myself. Alright, so this is the second technique, and I've tried to do a lot of the prep work already. That way you don't have to worry about any of it. So we were focusing on the zinnia bundle. Okay, the Simply Zinnia. And this is an online exclusive. Let me see if it's going to be any better without the light there. Okay. And this is an online exclusive. So again, you will not find this in the catalog. It will only be available in the online exclusives. So I went ahead and I've already stamped the sentiment from the set, and where words fail to express my gratitude. Because in this particular technique, you are definitely going to need to have that done. So let me share with you the parts and pieces that you're going to need. You're going to need a card base, and this card base is 8.5 by 4.5, 8.5 by 4 1/4. No, that's not right. 8.5 by 5.5 squared at 4 1/4, and we are going to use it as a horizontal versus a vertical fold. So we're going to use it in horizontal fold. You're going to need a piece of designer series paper, and this is the Simply Zinnia designer series paper. This is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to need a piece of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to need another piece of the same color as your card base, and this is also going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Okay? Now this part is so very simple, okay? Now, what I did with this part, like I told you already, is I stamped and heat embossed my sentiment. I ran it through an embossing machine. Can you see that? It looked like water bubble, and I'm going to use the opposite side. Generally, we use the raised side. I'm going to use the debossed side. So this technique is very simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to rip. I'm going to pick a point. Now that's why placement of the sentiment was very important, because now I know where I don't want to go past in terms of ripping and tearing. All right, so here we go. Again, in this process, just like with the last time, we're going to rip and tear towards ourselves, but we're going to do it in a controlled manner because we don't want to rip. There we go. Just keep ripping nice and slow. Rip towards yourself. And you can go as far as you want because the designer series paper is going to peek through on the back. Okay, I think that's good enough. That's perfect. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And this is why it's called a ripping and tearing, because that's all we're doing. Now we're going to try to make sure that we end up in a spot evenly. I think we're good, just about even, right? And then I'm going to go in with I'm going to take a paintbrush, anything that has a little bit of a barrel. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to start to roll it. Okay. Roll, roll, and roll. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And then using, in this case, liquid adhesive is probably our best bet to use to give us time to line that up. So we'll have a little bit of a peekaboo going on here, like so. Our sentiment's already done, and this is a quick and easy technique using a ripping and tearing process, okay? We don't want any adhesive on the rolled part. And remember, when you have embossed something, you probably need to do a little bit of the extra on the adhesive to make sure that all of the elements adhere properly to the cardstock. Okay. Now, when I'm lining up pieces that are cut the exact same, my preference is to lift them up so that they're kind of standing, butt them up against on the hard surface, and then follow the path. They should line up 100%, okay? Then if you need to add more adhesive, you'll know where you need to add adhesive, and you can go right back in there and add that adhesive, okay? But you see, that's perfect. I see where I have lifting. I don't like that, so I'm going to make sure that I go right back in with my adhesive and add to make sure that is properly sealed. Okay. I know it's early morning, and I know it is Father's Day. What are you guys doing for Father's Day? My dad is not in, he's not in Texas. My dad is in the Virgin Islands, where I'm from. And so I already called him like first thing this morning. Of course, I called my dad first thing in the morning. I called my brother first thing in this morning. And then the next thing I need to do is my nephew. I need to call him as well. I generally don't branch out too much further than that as far as whom I call for Father's Day. Alright, so there we go. There we got that. And so we have like a little bit of a peekaboo going on right here. Okay. I think I want a little bit of adhesive here. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some foam tape. And add a little dimension to this process. My dog has just walked in, you guys. She hasn't been feeling well, so generally when she enters the room, I kind of stop whatever I'm doing to pay her a little bit of attention, just because I know she's not, oops, I know she's not feeling well. And so she's coming looking for me. She's trying to tell me something. So that's how I look at that. If she's coming to look for me and she's not feeling well, that's like, Mama, I need to pay attention. So I'm going to try to get through the next card that I'm going to do, because I also promised that I would make a card in my swap group, have a sketch card. And so I wanted to go ahead and make that online for you so you can see that card. I love creating from sketches. Not everybody does, but I do. I enjoy it. I love to be able to see. It's amazing to me that how many people can see the same sketch and still come up with completely different projects. Okay, now the projects are different because maybe of the products that they used is different. Maybe they use the template or the guide as just that, as a guide, to say, I want to, when I say a guide, I just mean as a roadmap, but then we chose to add additional things. Maybe we use it as inspiration. That's the word that I'm looking for, was inspiration. All right, so we're going to go in. I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the Peach Pie stamp set, or ink pad, sorry, not the stamp set. And I'm going to see how dark that Peach Pie stamps. I might want to stamp off a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to stamp off. I just want a little hint of the stamp. Stamp off. And y'all, this is why I almost always will have scratch paper. So when I do come on and I do have like ink splotched cardstock, it's not a sign of disrespect that I'm not changing it out. It's just that I know I'm going to more than likely be having to stamp off. And so it's just easier for me to utilize an entire sheet rather than, you know, throwing this away when it still has a lot of useful life left to it. But you can do whatever you choose. That's why it's your things. I believe in being economical. Unfortunately, stamping supplies are not inexpensive. They're not, some of it is reasonable, but it's not inexpensive. And everybody has to watch their coins, and I would not be a good inspiration, in my opinion, if I'm not gonna share with you how to save a coin or two on a project. All right, so this is the complete project, you guys, except for if you wanted to add some embellishments. Now would be the time to do that. But this card is basically complete. And what I am gonna do is I'm gonna get my envelope all dolled up. I'm hiding that side because my address is on there. I pre-stamp a lot of my envelopes just because I know when I'm finished with it, all I'm gonna do is put it in the mail. So I've got that there. And then I'm just going to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. All right, so we've got a beautiful coordinating envelope. We're going to go ahead and send this card off. And this will be the second technique in the ripping and tearing technique, okay? All right, so I'm going to put this one away. So let me share with you what the swap, what the sketch looks like. It's a very simple sketch. Now, simple sketches are my favorite because that just means you can dress them up or dress them down or leave them exactly as is. But that's an opportunity for you to share your creativity. And everyone is creative. The things that we choose to accent with or embellish with will truly set your card apart. So let me share with you, when I'm starting a project in its entirety, a new one, I like to break out some non-Stampin' Up! Designer paper, okay? That way I get to play with things, see what I like, see what I don't like, and play with it that way. So I did have the opportunity, and I think the paper pack that I played with was in Pink and Main. Yes, it's Pink and Main. And here are the two cards. Let me share with you so this is the template that we used. Okay, and this was a Clipchamp Stampers. This is Jackie Bolheis. This was her card template number 9. Now it's very simple, which just means that you can dress it up a little bit more, dress it down a little bit more. So this is the base template, and this is showing you some examples of what she did with the card. So when I started playing with the Pink and Main, here are the two cards that I created. Okay. I love gnomes, so any opportunity I have for gnomes, I just tend to use them, okay? Take a look at this. Yeah. So what are some things that you can use to zhuzh this up just a little bit? So in the template, it is simply, there is no matte layer. I tend to matte a little bit. She added a little bit of ribbon on one, or baker's twine. You could do that. I chose not to do that. I also don't have any embellishments on these cards, but you can also do that as well. So I'm going to go, the card that I'm going to create for you guys today is a little something old, something new. I won't say borrowed and blue. I won't. So I'm going to use a new stamp set. And this stamp set is called Poised Peony. And I'm going to use some old designer series paper. Now, I can't remember the name of it. I can't. But I had so much of it because I loved it and I never used it. Guys, when I love my designer series paper, my tendency is to hoard it and never use it. So I chose to break it out today to play with this particular set. If I remember the name of it, I'll put it in the description box for you, okay? So we'll need a piece that's 1.5 by 4 3/4 and 1 inch by 4 3/4, and our matte layer is 2 3/4 inch by 5. Okay, that's what that is. We're also going to need a piece of basic white, and this basic white is 3 inches by 2.5, and the coordinating matte layer is 3 1/4 by 2 3/4, and of course the card base. So what I plan to do with this is, and I'm going to use some glitter markers. Okay, let's see. That's going to be my color swatch. Now these are scrapbook.com's glitter markers. And I'm just deciding, I've not played with these before, so this is going to be completely new for me. Okay. So let me, this is kind of what I want to do with it. So I'm going to try to do it on my scratch paper. All right. Do a little swatch. Because these are the colors that I see in the cardstock. And swatch as well. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a swatch. Because I want to extend what I see in the paper. Can you see the paper? How it looks just like the image that I'm going for. But I want to stamp first my image. This set is so new, I haven't even put my stickers on yet. Is it in the catalog? Give me a second. I'm going to look. I can't remember if it was an online exclusive product or catalog product, but I'm going to tell you exactly where you can find this stamp set. So I'm also sharing with you how I add my stickers, okay? And normally when I do it this way, they align perfectly and I don't have to worry about any overhang, okay? Cover this back up until I'm ready for it. These I tend to keep as well because you can use them for masking purposes if you do a lot of masking. I have got a lot of projects I've got to work on today. Like I said, all the time I do the Sweet Signatures swap groups. I think I've got like 4 active swaps going there. Plus I do support some of my other demonstrator friends, and not even demonstrators, some of my other card making friends that have their swap groups, so I do participate in their swaps. So on any given day I will have at least, I don't even know, I can have anywhere from 5 to 10 swaps due, depending on how many I sign up for. Well, I mean, it gives you a purpose as well. When I say purpose, I just mean if you sit there and you make cards every day, which I don't make them every day because I do work. But if you make cards regularly, you can have a buildup of cards, and it just helps if you have somewhere to distribute them. Okay, and it also gives you a purpose, for lack of a better word. And when I say purpose, just what I mean is just that if you're looking for a direction in terms of what type of card, unless you're sitting to make a card for a birthday or something like that, then you'll sit there and you'll say, okay, this swap card, I need to make a card with for example, one of the swaps for my group is a flower of the month. And the flower of the month for June is either roses or honeysuckle, right? And so it gives you a chance to, one, pull out your stamp sets. Make sure that you have the stamp that is, or the product that coincides with the swap. And 2 gives you direction. I need to make a floral card. And then whatever else is involved in the theme. Yeah. Sometimes they'll say it has to be birthday. Sometimes, you know, I'll give it has to be a thank you. Sometimes it'll be a sympathy, or, you know, whatever the theme is, that's how you will build your card. So this one was just a sketch, and so we just had to create a card following the sketch. What you chose to do, there are no limitations on this. So in my swap groups, I do technique-based swaps. I do color-based swaps. So I put together some color combinations, and you'll have to use that color combination. It might be a color combination. You'll be like, what's that? Yeah. What's that? All right, I turned my fan off, you guys, but it is hot in here, so I'm turning this back on. So I apologize if you hear my fan going, but I'm burning up in here. Texas heat is no joke. I'm just saying. And it's not like I'm not used to heat, guys. The Caribbean, the islands are not. It's not particularly warm or cool. It's not hot either, but still, you know what I'm saying. All right, so here we go. We're getting ready to put this guy on here. And I want to make sure I have all my images down where I'm going to do it, because that'll help me with where I'm wanting to swatch. Okay, so let's put this here, like so. And then let's grab our peony. I'm gonna go with the big one. I know. I know. We're just gonna make sure we can line this baby up like so. Okay. Then I'm gonna heat set with some heat emboss powder. Get my heat tool going. All right, so now that we have that main image, but guys, the fastest way to add color without coloring is to have some sort of like maybe an alcohol. If you wanted to use your water brushes, you could do that as well. But I'm just going to go right in with these glitter pens. All right, and I'm just going to randomly swatch. Okay. And I'm going to do the same with the green. Trying to control how much comes out of here. That's it. All right, now we're just going to assemble this card and get everything put together. Okay. And someone's getting one of these cards as their swap. Yes. May not be the one I made on camera. Could be one of the other ones. So it'll be definitely a surprise for them which one they receive. If you like swapping, or if you want to investigate swapping in card swapping, please check out my group, Sweet Signature Stampers Card Swap group. I can put the link in the description box for you so that you can find it easier. The only requirement, well, not the only, one of the main requirements in the group is that you participate in a swap at least once per quarter. I don't tell you which one you have to participate in, just as long as you participate in a swap group, in a card swap, at least once every 3 months. Now, the only reason I did that was because, you know, in a group of however many people, it is a swap group after all, right? So if you're not going to swap in a swap group, why are you in a swap group? Right? That's just how I look at it. Somebody else may not, but that is how I look at it. And not only that, is I just want everybody to be able to benefit from everyone else's creativity. I tell you, the swappers in my swap group, they are awesome. I mean, the quality of work that they do is just amazing. Okay? I can't say enough about it. Okay? Alright, so now that you have this, as you can see, this part is done, and this part is done. It's going to have to go this way, right? But I'm also now, I'm going to add a little bit of this twine on there. Now adding the twine gives it a little bit more oomph, a little bit more zhuzh. And like I said, the template is just that. It is a guide. You can add from it, take away from it. It's your card, okay? So I'm just gonna wrap this around like that. I'm undecided if I'm gonna do a bow yet, but once I've done that, I'm just gonna grab a piece of Scotch tape and tack it down in the back. Okay. Okay. So now this is tacked down. Got a little bit of that. We know this guy's going to go here, right? But do I just want to put this on white cardstock? I think I really want to put it on some Lost Lagoon. I think that's what I want to do. It's either Lost Lagoon or white. I'm not sure yet which. All right, so give me one moment. All right, so the Poised Peony is in the new catalog. It is on page 28, as you can see right here. It is not sold as a bundle, but there is, you can utilize the frames and flowers, and that's how they've used it in the catalog. In the catalog. So Thursday, this is going to be the product that I'm going to use for Case the Catalog. Okay, so I'm going to use this to case the catalog on Thursday. Okay, page 28 and page 29. But it is in the catalog. All right, I think I'm just going to go with white. So we have the option, we can do it this way. And have this guy go like this. We can have it that way. And have him go like this. I'm not sure. But while I'm trying to figure that part out, I'm just going to go grab the little flower. And I'm going to grab, let's go with the peach pie. So if we go this way, I mean, again, it, right? And the beautiful thing about that is even if we do this way, we can have that. And if we go it this way, we can have this going that way, okay? Still trying to decide, y'all. I see that this, I'm seeing more of the blush here. All right, so we're just gonna pick a side and we're gonna go with that way. Make sure we get lined up a little bit. Even Stevens all the way around. Then we're gonna mat this guy. All right, so I'm trying to finish this up because me and the girls, we're getting ready to go stamping. We do our Sunday morning, our Sunday stamping. I get together with several ladies over Zoom, and we spend the next 4 hours of the day crafting and talking and just having fun with each other. Well, I do more talking because when you have 10 plus cards that you've got to make, sometimes talking is not so much in the cards. Just saying. All right. Centered. There we go. And our sketch card is done. Okay. I am going to make a bow though, because I see that it warrants something, and I'm going to make a little one, okay? Use my third hand right here. You guys know that's what the reversible tweezers are, right? They're like your third hand. They are. All right. I'm just going to take this now. Make sure the loop is large enough. Try to make sure our little knot's going to be centered. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be close enough in my book, depending on what it is. And here we go. Just like that, we have our bow done. Put it on here, or we can put it on here. I'm going to put it right there. All right, grabbing my glue dots. This bulk trash pickup this week. Yeah. Of course, by the time the city comes around from picking up bulk trash, generally, there's nothing left. You know, we do have folks that go around, and that's what they do, is they collect the trash. Because one man's trash is another man's treasure. And that's what they do. They go around, they pick up what other people are calling trash. I don't know whether they probably refurbish depending on what needs to be refurbished. All right, so there you go. So that's showing you just a little bit of how you can have fun with the template, or you can be, this is what I call quote unquote serious, right? So I love all three of them. This one's my favorite because I love my my DSP, but they are all following card template number 9, courtesy of Jackie Bullheis at Clipchamp Stampers. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me today. I will see you on Tuesday with another technique, and then again on Thursday where we're going to play with the prized peony stamp set. All right, y'all have a great day. Poised peony, not prized. Poised. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me, and happy stamping.